What is something you want to do before you die? Is it one thing or multiple things? Do you want to do something big and be remembered in history, or would you be content making your loved ones happy? I want you to take a moment and think about that beautiful person that you will become. If you could take and keep a little part of that identity with you through your death, what would it be and what form would it exist in? Would it look anything similar to the cloth on the screen? Because for people from the south coast of Peru nearly 2,000 years ago, that piece of identity was this small piece of cloth. They believed that a textile that has the culture and beliefs of Peru woven in it helps those who passed away to smoothly transition from death to afterlife. The textile on the screen was found in Paracas, Peru, and is, unsurprisingly, known as the Paracas textiles. When you take a second to just look at the textile, one of the first things you notice is the variety of colors in it. The reds and yellows definitely dominate the blues and purples. Overall, however, the textile gives off a warm and rich cultural vibe. The textile is made of a pattern of a huge-eyed grinning figure that is believed to be a supernatural being. The border of this textile consists of 90 creatures. These figures represent the people of Peru living in that time period, animals, and hybrids. The fabric is made of cotton and camelid fiber, which was very popular at that time in Peru. The camelid's fiber were dyed and then wrapped around the cotton before weaving, hence creating such colorful and rich pictures in the fabric. The figures on the border are even more complicated than the center. All the figures except three are woven to have reversibility so perfect that it's impossible to tell which side of the cloth is the correct one. The three remaining figures have a backside view woven instead of a mirror image like other figures. This helps distinguish which side of the fabric is the correct one. The figures are woven to look almost three-dimensional. To achieve that, each figure's top half was attached separately to its bottom half that was woven with the fabric. And embellishments like leaves and jewelry were woven separately and then attached to the figure. The textile is only 2 feet by 5 feet in size. It was used to wrap around the heads of those who passed away. For some people in Asian Andes, textiles were not only used as a means to record the lives of people around them, but also helped and guided those who passed away to the next life. This fabric records not only the history of Peru, but also the beliefs of its people by weaving supernatural beings. By doing so, it gives the one who passed away an identity that comprises of a person's birthplace and culture and belief of what comes in afterlife. When I look at this art piece, it's all about tradition, beliefs, and death. And we all have some sort of relationship with all three of these characteristics. One of the first things that caught my attention in this piece was that it was used to wrap around the dead bodies. As a Muslim, I was always taught that we humans have no control over death. Not only because it is inevitable, but because we don't get to choose when and where we would die, because it is already written in our fate. As someone who has mental illnesses and has dealt with suicidal thoughts for years, this fact has stopped me from acting on those thoughts. Not because I was religious, but because if the timing of my death is already set, no matter how hard I try, I can't bring that end closer to me. Now, I have come to peace with death and the certainty of it. I've embraced death whether it comes tomorrow or in 40 years. And I believe these people had also embraced it and made peace with it through their own beliefs, accepted it to the point where they are willing to spend time creating something that defines them just so they can carry it to their afterlife. Death is one of the few topics that everyone can relate to. We can try to fight it or run away from it, but it will catch you eventually, even if somehow we can find a way to live forever. Would life mean anything without death?